Goodness comes and evil goes. Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth. Karibu, welcome. My name is Kwende, and today we're going to get into another important subject, and that subject is remembrance and the history season overseas. The Creator Supreme blessed African souls with the longest and most magnificent journeying of any people. Great pioneers, great philosophers, great thinkers of all sorts, great scientists. It is important that we remember our experience. Remember our greatness. Remember what it means to be African, what it means to be ourselves through that journey. And so remembrance and history are at one. And this is important because in the UK, where I'm based, October is the month in which the history season, the African history season, is celebrated. That's the time, that's the period of the African history observance. Whereas for many places overseas, the Americas and so on, the history season is observed in this month, which is February. So there's a difference in the times that the history period is celebrated. But because remembrance is part of the thrust of what it means to engage in our history, in this arena, remembrance is important in February because we remember and honor the life and legacy of the great hero, Omowale Malcolm X. So the remembrance period here is still a part of our experience as a whole, albeit that there is a focus on this great hero. So there is a oneness that takes place. There is a shared experience, even though the actual times of the history observance are different. We're still celebrating history here through the observance of a great hero who understood and was very forthright in expressing what history meant for African people throughout the world. In his words, he said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. So even after his passing, his martyrdom, which is remembered at this time, the spirit thrust of this hero is still a unifying force for African people throughout the world as we A, celebrate our history, and B, celebrate or remember this life and legacy, having living remembrance of his life and experience at the time of his martyrdom. And what comes with that are all the lessons, all the knowingness of that physical lifespan that was so rich with what African people ought to do in mission of ascension, and the pitfalls and the tactics, strategies of others that mean the African ill. And so there's much to learn, much to understand, and much to gain traction with as African souls continue their journey of rising, continue their journey of climbing at one with their experience, whether it's through the process of remembrance or through the process of our history in a general sense. We are a whole people, a people of oneness. So remembrance and history are interconnected, are shared fabric. And in this we can gain much strength. So with that, food for thought, and surely it is food for thought. Kimunga ukumbozi, kimunga ukumbozi, kimunga ukumbozi. Divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth.
The sun who has returned home for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home for Africans back on top.